However, Mercedes-Benz is continuing its product offense in 2025 as well. In 2024, we saw a car being launched every month, and in 2025, we'll see 8 new launches from Mercedes-Benz India. I'm joined with the CEO Santosh Iyer. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank you for
and wishing
joining.
you a very happy New Year to you and your customers as well. I want to start by asking, 8 new launches lined up, a product offensive being continued. Last time we spoke, and you mentioned that we will be continuing that offense.
Yeah.
Uh, Great announcements also today. Tell us a brief pointers on what are the announcements that you made today.
Okay, firstly, a great year, 2024. I think the best ever year in our history, clocking more than 19,500 cars. But more importantly, it's the structure of our cars. We have sold more than 30% in our top end segment. Electrification, BV cars, we have almost doubled, 94% growth. So I think the year has been great for us. But looking into the future, our motto is desire to exceed. So keeping the customer in the center, what can we do in 2025? Starting with products, 8 new cars to further continue the excitement. But more importantly, we are also going closer to the customer. So we are coming up with, so we have 125 touch points in India in 50 cities. We are now going to add 20 more touch points. We are going to revamp the entire, current facilities to modern luxury boutique formats, and all of this will cost 450 crores of investment, which will be done by our dealer partners also in the next 2 years. So we'll go more closer. Also, some of the cities like Jammu, Agra, Kanpur, these were not there in our roadmap at this stage. They will all get added in 25. So getting closer to the customer in terms of service facilities, 8 new car launches, lot of customer experience initiatives. So we will continue the push, I would say, to trying to meet and exceed customer
And
expectations.
also, if you could expand on, since the year we were thinking that you will eventually reach the 20,000 mark, but due to the slow second quarter, we saw that you missed it up a 500 odd cars. So, are you confident enough that in 2025 will you cross that mark, or probably you're setting up a higher target for yourself?
So for us, the growth is there and the growth continues. Even as I speak, we have more than 2,000 orders in our order bank. So many of the cars like E-Class, I don't have cars till April to give. So if you would have had the cars, we could have done a bit more. But I don't think we are chasing the number. Number should be an outcome, because if you start doing that, you will hamper residual values, you will do crazy stuff. So I think we are very clear as a brand that, we should have a profitable growth here. We should not now push H2, for example. You really said about quarter two, because in H2 the market was 3%, we grew by 16%. So that's a very strong growth trajectory that we have. With this order bank position, we should be able to capitalize, and of course number 20,000 and even beyond should be possible. We are looking at 25 to be another best record year.
Sure. And also, when I consider 2025, we saw, towards the end, we saw some, weak numbers from the overall industry. What growth are you, considering from this year onwards? And a double-digit growth should be good enough considering the EV and the SUV market is, blowing up, and you are actually having majorly going into the EV and, of course, the SUV segment, both targeting the right thing at the right time. So, what's your outlook on the industry as a whole?
So, firstly, as Mercedes-Benz, as I said, in the last quarter, in the last H2 of the year, July to December, when the industry was at 3% growth, we grew at 16%. So strong foundation for growth. On the other hand, if you look at geopolitical headwinds, what's happening, you also have the exchange rate. Thankfully, the euro is not affected, but dollar to the rupee is negative. But we actually more our imports are from Europe. So in that sense, we have to monitor this closely. So to put a prognosis is challenging. But on the other hand, we can comment on our growth. But the industry, if you see, has been slow. We have always outperformed the industry. It's also a very special year for us because we have done 2 lakh cars in India in 30 years. But the last, it took us 20 years to do the first 50,000. And it just took 10 years for the balance 1.5 lakhs. And the last 1 lakh came in 6 years. So, this trajectory continues. We don't see any reason why not. But it's dependent on, as I said, macroeconomy, demand, sentiments. We have the right products, right strategy, and hopefully we
And
grow.
Santosh, if you could tell me the products that in the last 6 years you sold about 1 lakh cars, what really made consumers go into what made Indians actually go into in this luxury segment? Is there any statistic or any interesting trivia that you could share with us? What really happened in the last 6 years?
So, firstly, there is a change. The per capita income grew. Let's be honest that the economy has been also growing. So there is more better, in terms of consumption and disposition available. And from 2014 to 2024, the GDP per capita has almost been 1.8 times. So I think that's something which is driving. On the other side, infrastructure growth, great roads, plus this entire feel that you need to spend on yourself, you need to reward much more younger popular demographics, women buyers coming into the segment. So all of this adds up. But most importantly, from us, I think the retail of the future, the direct to the consumer model has really helped the brand. It has made us more desirable because there is no hanky panky discounting. Pricing is uniform. We can customer gets an omni-channel experience. So I think this shift we have already done more than 50,000 cars under the direct to consumer model. I think that's a big step that we have been able to achieve. So all of these are ingredients. But as I said, we keep the customer in the center of what we do. The new E-Class, it ticks all the boxes, and therefore actually you can see the demand as well very strong.
And also, coming back to the policy side now, recently, the whole industry met, the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal. What were the deliberations that happened, and any positive response towards strengthening the EV ecosystem in India?
I think the government has done a lot. One of the key topics is about democratization of charging because today, if you buy an EV, you need 3-4 apps to charge. Here, the government is taking big steps to see can there be a unified interface for charging infrastructure. I think there is enough subsidies for mass market manufacturers. They are already launching very good cars and they are also doing their bit to drive the EV ecosystem. We, on our part, we have a localized couple of cars. So I think the maturity of the industry is coming up. Hopefully the taxation continues the way it is because that's important till the time the 20-30% threshold is not reached. We should just keep continuity is important. And there I think we have clear signals from the government that they also want decarbonization of the automotive industry and they are fully committed.
And lastly, when we spoke, there were talks about, in unstable taxes in various states. Was that also discussed? And any comment on that? Is it improving? Any word of commitment from the government or anything else that you could
So
be?
firstly, I was not part of that meeting. My colleague was, but end of the day, the road tax is a state subject completely, and you have to talk state to state. But I still, when I met the Telangana, chief minister there, and we requested, you can see that they have changed it. Today, Telangana has come back. Last time we met in Hyderabad actually, and there the road tax was much higher. But today now they have gone back, and now the sales in EVs have skyrocketed again in Telangana. It's almost back to 10%. So I think this electrification needs this kind of a support for customers to make that move. Governments are realizing, state governments are realizing. Maharashtra, where we are, is also very progressive. We have this kind of policies. Delhi has extended the guideline. So I think it's about this ecosystem to continue, and I'm sure it's a matter of time. EVs are picking up, and it will pick up even faster.
And the budget is coming up. What do you think should the budget be doing for EVs and for taxation and SUVs? Any comment on that?
Wow. I am a believer, don't touch taxes. Sometimes you don't fiddle with some of the basic framework, allow the industry to settle because it's fine. It is what it is. And we have all trying to adjust our, working model. But what should be done ideally is look at the demand side. So if the capital expenditure on roads, infra, ports, all are going because this is the same consumption. It trickles down to luxury, trickles down to normal automotive from two-wheelers to cars to bikes to tractors. So I think whatever can be done to stimulate demand even further, get the sentiments back because I think the last 2 quarters sentiment was from positive to neutral. I think once it comes back, because for example, luxury is a sentiment-driven purchase. People have the money, and if the sentiment is back, you will again see a much bigger, stronger rally now coming back.
And of course, last question, BYD and other brands are actually making quite entry into India. Is Mercedes-Benz kind of getting wary about this fact that Tesla or BYD might come and capture the luxury segment market in India?
So firstly, we don't see them as luxury players because I think they are great cars. Maybe they also make everywhere. It's good they come in because again it helps electrification cause more players, more options for customer at different price points helps. And we know them worldwide. We will see them in India, so that's not an issue at all. And I think it's great that if many brands participate, the journey towards electrification will be faster.
All right, Santosh, thank you so much for speaking to us. That was Santosh, candid as always, mentioning about what really the brand stands about, and of course, maintaining that growth rate as to what they've been maintaining. With camera person Kishan in from Chakan, this is Chetan Bhutani for Business Today Television.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.